Brooklyn Bridge, showing off.
Always does.
You know what the Brooklyn Bridge doesn't have to worry about?
What?
Saving money.
Money.
Have you heard the age-old saying, money doesn't grow on trees? Miriam used to say, oh, hold on, let me shake that tree that does not have money.
And I used to say, well, it was paper.
I was not taught the money game when I was a kid. My grandfather may have tried, but I was not listening. Good thing for us. Our next guest is here to help.
Yeah, now a nonprofit's making it his mission to teach high schoolers about financial literacy so they can learn to manage their own money, achieve their financial goals as well. That's important.
Yes, exactly. Joining us now to tell us about Sensibility is Roy Paul, their executive director, organization of the same name. Welcome back, sir. How are you?
It is so good to be here with you.
Good to see you.
Now, there's three of us talking. I'm sure there are three different stories we were told about money growing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it that, well, we'll give you the stats first. 54% of students never or rarely discuss money with their family. 63% don't even write their financial goals down. How is Sensibility trying to change that?
Yeah, so when we think about money, it's sort of like politics now. It's like a dirty word. People don't want to talk about it because it depends on your personal experience. If you grew up in a house with money or without it, obviously that is going to influence how you look at money, right? So at Sensibility, we debunk all the myths. We are dealing with a lot of high schoolers. In many cases, they don't come from families with money. And so if you say to them, you know, what does it cost to get an apartment in New York City? They're going to throw out answers like $1,000 and $500. You go, where is that coming from? Because that is where their view is. So we're trying to make them understand as best as possible. Money is good. It can work for you if you let it.
Right.
As a parent, what age should you begin that conversation with your child? Now, when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I would have never known it, right? But you know that now later on in life, looking back, there were those late night conversations between my parents about, well, okay, here's what we're going to have to cut now. So at what point as a parent then talk to their child about money?
Whenever your child is talking about things that cost money, right? I have a 7-year-old niece, and whenever we go out, I say, how much does that cost? I want this, how much does it cost? Now she'll say, oh, it's expensive, put that back.
Right.
Even at 7, she starts to understand $5 is $5, but $5,000 is a lot different.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the 50-30-20 rule when it comes to savings and budgeting.
Yeah, so a lot of people get a check and they go, what the heck do I do with it, right? So the 50-30-20 rule is essentially 50% of your check on things that you absolutely need. Your rent, your food, gas in your car. 30% on the things you want, that Gucci belt, right?
That outfit we're going to put on you for
I'm not
Fashion
talking about
Week.
anyone here on set. And then 20%, you just save it. You don't touch it. And that's the best principle I can give people. Whenever you get money coming in, take 20% and don't touch it.
20% and don't touch it.
Don't touch it. That's hard to do. And what do you say to, because this is back to school time, right?
Yeah.
And so many of kids are going back to college, and this is where I got into trouble. You go back to college, and there they are, the credit card companies waiting to sign you up as soon as your parents drive away.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you kind of discuss the credit card rule and how quickly you can get into debt because of interest?
Yeah, I always say take out one credit card, right? Why, right? Because if you come from a low-income family, that is probably the only way you're going to get to invest in your own credit, right? You're not going to probably get a cosigner. A lot of parents don't want to do that. But get one credit card because you want to exercise good habits when it comes to the credit
But
card.
how do you get to that good habit, right? Because you're a college kid.
Right.
You're going to say, I got my credit card, I'm going downtown.
Yeah. I always say put incidentals on the credit card. You want to go to Starbucks and get coffee? Put that on the credit card. It's much easier to pay that back than Gucci belts.
Than Gucci belts. I just did this with my own son. I just dropped him off at college. I was actually shocked that there weren't as many credit card companies as I thought, but we as a family gave him a credit card before he left that he started using at the beginning of the summer. And I said, whatever you spend, you got to put back. So he got a job.
Wow.
And so I was trying to instill in him, I'm picking up tuition. You got to pick up all the rest.
Yeah.
So I think having those conversations early enough, at least, we'll see. I mean, listen, it's only September. But one of the driving motivators was you need to start building credit.
Exactly.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what that is before we even talk about good credit, bad credit? Just having credit is important.
Credit is so critically important. If you want to get a home, if you want to finance a car, right? All of these things rely on having good credit. And that is essentially your ability to pay back. People want to know that you are reliable if they're going to give you money. And credit is the best way in which you can do that. And that's why those small purchases on that credit card are a big help.
Yeah, and I guess in theory it sounds great what you're saying, but that Gucci belt, that's what somebody might want.
Right.
And say, well, I have a credit card, it's got an X limit. So,
and a 25% interest rate.
But they don't look at that 25%
Right,
interest rate,
exactly,
right? So how do you kind of factor in that, okay, I can maybe buy this $600 belt, I'll pay it back in a couple weeks, but now there's this interest rate.
Yeah, and that's where money meets reality, right? Your own personal financial situation trumps all of this, right? So if you've got money to buy the belt and you don't have to worry about it, you know if you can afford to buy the belt and not worry about it, right? If you've got to put it on the credit card, that's probably a bad start to begin with.
Yeah.
If you've got to put it on the credit card, that's probably a bad start. So that is a great adage. You should put it on a T-shirt. Where can folks at home, specifically teens, sign up for all the great work that you're doing at Sensibility?
Google us. Google is your friend, I always say about everything, and you can find us there, and we'll be happy to help.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good stuff.
To be continued. For more information, go to sense, like the 2 cents, abilityeducation.org.